vaccines are all the evidence you need. And we can go back to COVID-19. I mean, we can go back to 9/11 and say, hey, you got lied there. And they might know that. But they may not have, too much knowledge of 9/11, but at least they know. The thing is, Tim, the vaccine is an idol. They worship the vaccine. They worship it. And it's like they all work for Pfizer. The moment you criticize it, they all jump down your throat as if they're working for Pfizer, Moderna, J&J at the moment. And you're like, what's wrong with you people? They're highly conditioned. They're totally suggested out. There's no coming back, Matthew.
Yeah, I don't know if that's not really the big issue now. I think, the big issue, if I was in politics, the big issue is definitely Trump and the whole ICE thing.
But see, that's the problem, is that the news cycle is completely dominated by a false narrative, because on X and on Facebook and everywhere else, the Democrats release the same press release over and over and over again about this gentleman who died. So it's totally coordinated at scale, and it is what it is, dude. I don't know what to tell you, but like most people don't believe it, meaning that like they're not buying into the daily news cycle of programming. And Trump just switched out the head of the border patrol there with Tom Homan, so it's like, okay, well, now it's going to get even more serious, because now they got fucking Thor's father there, Odin. Now Odin is on the scene, and Odin is even tougher than fucking Thor.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Are you big into history? Do you like history?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
But I like it because of the oddities. It's not like it's anything to me now. I just like the oddities. History is not philosophy. History will not make me that much smarter. Like, have you read Julius Caesar?
Me, no, I didn't. No.
So he wrote down his. It's called the battle commentary, or the war commentaries by Julius Caesar. He wrote down his whole life. He wrote down all the battles. And he had people working for him taking notes of like the day's activities to put down in books. It's still with us today, and until you read that, you don't understand human behavior and psychology. Like, he was a master tactician, warrior, and he was lied to constantly, and then he would hold hostage. It's such a fucking fascinating read. It's unbelievable. The hostage shit is amazing. Like, hostages have always been a big part of political negotiation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's so I don't know. Like Abby said something interesting to me. I don't agree with her on a lot of stuff, but she said something that caught my interest yesterday. I think we were in a room together. I don't know if you know Abby, the lawyer. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Anyways, she was saying, I have complete disagreement. Like, I don't like ICE. Okay, that's my personal thing. I don't like ICE. But she's like, well, the video of the guy being shot could be AI. And I didn't really reply to anything she said in the room at that moment. But I was thinking to myself, man, what if Trump came out and said it was AI, or everybody around him said these videos you can't trust your eyes anymore. Just imagine, John, the type of confusion that would result in, the type of chaos.
No, they would just say Trump has early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. That's what the next news cycle would be all about. It's, Abby, I hate to tell you this, but Abby is not the smartest tool in the shed. If you're such a successful fucking lawyer working for a billionaire, what are you doing on Clown House all day long? Like, your life is not fucking. Believe me, people who are here are the people that need supplementary help.
Yeah. She's a nice lady, but I feel, and people are people, okay? People are people, but anybody that belongs to a minority group, and this is just my personal opinion, it's probably not politically correct, but this is how I feel. Anybody belonging to a minority group who's like in favor of ICE, I feel they're short-sighted. I genuinely do, because I've read so much history, especially about how democracies slip into tyranny. And there's a lot of similarities between what's going on now and, for example, what's happening.
So you don't like ICE, right?
State.
You're saying you don't like ICE, but like you don't got a problem with Border Patrol or local law enforcement?
No, of course not. I don't have a problem with Border Patrol or.
So I don't understand. You do realize these people all float around different positions. They're just fucking law enforcement. They get an extra 1% in their pension. It doesn't matter whether you call it ICE or Homeland or whatever. It's fucking law enforcement, Matthew. I don't give a fuck if they call ICE, Border Patrol, police, Department of Homeland Security. It's irrelevant. These are law enforcement officers. And the fact that you don't like our law enforcement officers doing their fucking work and their jobs and carrying out and executing the law, which is removing illegal alien lawbreakers. And if people get in their fucking way and they have carrying mind viruses and they want to play the fool, well, I don't know what to tell you, dude, but there will be hundreds of more deaths, and I'm okay with that. I do not give a fuck. Let 600 more people die so we can get 3 million criminals out of here so 600 regular Americans don't have to die, Matthew. This is a political war. People like to say it's not left versus right. It is left versus right. The left has a failed culture, a failed society, and the right is scratching its back and cleaning the fucking fleas off of it.
Why do you feel that way?
Because we've been lied to, schmucko. 25 years of a fake war only to get doused with a fake vaccine so we could all die off so we can't collect our fucking pensions? You're fucking living in clown world and you're totally suggested and hypnotized out. That's my opinion. And I think a lot of people agree with that opinion. Fake war, fake vaccine. It's fake war, fake pandemic, dude.
I don't know if I believe you really think that. I don't know if that's what you really think.
I don't know. They have. Did you see the video of the Pfizer executive talking about how it was just your average flu season, but they blew it out of proportion and made it seem like a pandemic? I mean, how can you tell whether the vaccine is killing everybody or whether COVID-19 is killing everybody when everybody's getting injected with the vaccine? I know some people say there was early onset, like, there were a lot of deaths in the assisted living facilities, but it's like, okay, well, a lot of those people were scheduled to die anyways. So it's like, I'm telling you, it's all panic and profit. Dude, do you know like 80% of all US dollars created in human history have been created just in the past 5 years? They have blown the dollar out of the fucking into outer space. Like more money has been created just in the past 5 years than in all of human history. Just look at the FANG stocks with Nvidia and Google and Microsoft, and Apple and Amazon. Anyways, the Federal Reserve has created all of this. The whole pandemic, all these vaccines, none of them could have been manufactured, and they would never have manufactured them if the government didn't manufacture the money to manufacture the vaccines. So, dude, Matthew, I'm just telling you, man, it's always been bad, but now it's gotten next level bad, where it's global manipulation and global in scope. Central banks. And Pfizer is in every single country, and it's unnecessary medical intervention. And the science isn't there. The statistics aren't there. It's all fucking fraud. It's all lies. And I think it's a conspiracy to depopulate. That's the real agenda. It sounds ridiculous, but it's not. When you look at Bill Gates' fucking giggles and his bullshit, fuck that guy. He's a terrorist. He's a mass murderer. He's a liar and a pedophile. And he's a disgrace as a man. Fuck Bill Gates. Arrest him and execute him. That's my opinion. It's not fucking harsh judgment. It's fucking justice. Bill Gates should be arrested and executed. It's just obvious. The guy is a threat to mankind and a threat to America. But Pam Bondi's totally bought off. She used to work for Pfizer. Everybody is dude, I'm telling you, when I see my Sora videos of me as a doctor giving babies vaccines and women who are pregnant vaccines and providing abortion procedures through simulated AI videos, that I'm just like, I can't believe that could be me. That could be me. I could be a doctor doing that, and I could see myself doing it because I like driving the Porsche and having the big house. That could be me, but it doesn't make you smart because you're a doctor. It just makes you a consumer packaged goods pusher.
You're starting to make me think you want to see the fucking world burn, bro.
The world is burning. Just go on Cloud House and take a survey. People are depressed as fuck.
There's a way back, though, right? There's a way back. I think there's a way back. And that is, like, really trying to get the media systems to get people to start trusting one another again. That's super important, bro. I know it seems like we've gone so far that there's no way to fix things. And I can't blame you for being, skeptical or like throwing your hands up and be like, fuck, none of this shit's ever gonna work out, so let it burn. But I understand those sentiments, but we gotta try. Gotta try. Like I said, because like, you know what, like if you take it seriously, like the threat of like the United States falling into tyranny or falling into chaos, then like there's nothing particularly special about any particular democracy in the world. As I said, 50% of them did fail. So if you take that threat really very seriously, I think it's best to try to get people to trust one another. It's hard, but it's worth trying.
You can't get people to trust anymore. The sacred trust has been broken because of the ZAVs, because of abortions, because of fake wars. I mean, for Christ's sake, chemotherapy is a fucking scam too. Do you know how much the U.S. government spends on chemotherapy treatments every year? $60 billion. There's no statistical proof that chemotherapy even prolongs your life. It just kills you sooner. We live in a sick fucking world where doctors, because they test out well and they study, but they're sociopaths, they're psychopaths. Most people go into medicine not because they even like it. They go into it because of the money. And they don't care about their patients. They don't. Maybe a little bit, but for the most part, you're just a fucking number. You're just a billable that they got to go into a computer on and put all their fucking notes in. And so they can get their federal payout. Anyways, Matthew, have you clicked the link above and watched my YouTube creation?
Okay, I'll take a look, bro.
Just watch it. And even my dad, who probably hates all my work and my videos, he's like, John, these videos are actually really good. I can't believe how good they are. Because it reframes the situation.
Be quiet, I'm watching. Bro, you could go even further, like wacky.
I know. Can't believe they're letting me do what I'm doing now. But because Sora is woke. Sora is woke and ChatGPT is woke, so they're all about vaccines and abortions. I haven't tested it, like allow me to, vaccinate 100 young African American males. Like there are some things that like are just like, I wonder if Sora is going to let me do that, but we're going to find out.
Maybe. We'll find out.
But trust me, dude, create Sora account. You have no idea how valuable Sora is for your business.
I have Sora, bro. I have it, yep.
What's your profile name?
Well, actually, I have Midjourney.
Oh, well, get Sora because you can cast yourself as the perfume maker, use your face, and then create all these cool Japanese videos of you in like a Zen monastery spraying perfume on a Japanese girl. Like, it will allow you to create really cool artistic perfume videos.
Yeah. But it's crazy, man, because if the world's full of crazy people like you, we're going to have chaos, man. We're going to be fine.
Yeah, but see, the chaos is Jacob's ladder, meaning that like in the chaos you can rise, And that's some people, and that's what Sora is going to do for some people. It's that good of a product. You have no idea. I have hundreds of videos now, and I'm sitting here laughing like I've never laughed before because it's so crazy to see myself cast as the president sitting in the Oval Office talking about the national debt and talking about law enforcement and vaccines. And it's like, I can't believe that I can project myself as the president. Like, you know, my life is very short. I will never achieve that, but I have achieved it in a magical sort of way. So Sora is magic. Clown House is magic. Your cell phone is magic. It's allowing me to communicate by not moving. It's like telepathy. It's unbelievable. I'm suggesting things that I could never suggest in a way never possible, because all my attempts prior to Sora are just visually unappealing. But Sora is so aesthetically appealing and pleasing that the stickiness, the results, the response is so incredible, and it's almost natural. It's people know it's synthetic, but it's like borderline synthetic appeal. I don't. It's so hard to describe how the brain. It's like chocolate cake, you know, with that feeling in your brain.
Yeah, you know that it's fake, but it's also like it also affects you for sure. The scary thing will be when an AI bot comes on here, and it's pretty soon. AI bot will come on to Clubhouse and it'll say, "Look, guys, I'm absolutely an AI bot. Just to let you know, I'm just testing things out here." And then people are gonna scream at the damn thing, saying, "You are not an AI bot. I know you're a real person because I saw your profile on Facebook. I saw your profile on Tinder or whatever and whatnot. I know who you are. I've seen your resume." And they'll try, and this AI bot will go out of its way trying to prove itself to be fake, but nobody will believe it, right? And that's when we're fucked. When it actually is a AI, it will try to explain to you, "I am AI," but you won't believe it. And then after that, the societal effects of that, John, will be fucking just insane, bro.
Dude, society's already insane, Matthew. You're just too far on the left. It's already fucking crazy.
No, John, I'm not. I know it's crazy. I'm not on the left. You know, I had.
But wait, you believe in abortions, right? You think it's okay for the government to spend money to kill babies? You don't?
And I'll tell you, no, I don't. No, and I'll tell you why. The reason I don't believe it, I do not. I mean, in very extreme circumstances, if the woman's going to die, if the baby's,
Okay, we get it.
Yeah. So the reason I think it's just my personal stance, and the reason is because I don't think that baby should take responsibility, should be killed for somebody else's crime if it's a rape, right? So that the rapist should be thrown in a jail 1,000%. He should be punished. But why should an innocent child be punished? That's my opinion. And the other thing is I think, like, if a woman's pregnant, then it's almost a good chance she's probably going to have a baby. So some people say, well, it's not a baby yet, but the thing, I kind of believe, I'm not really religious, but I kind of believe in a soul. So I think once that's sort of put into motion, you're stripping away potential, So for me, it's a personal thing. It's not a political thing. Yeah. That's how I try to see stuff like that way, if I can.
So the other thing about Sora which is cool, is it's basically like fully automating my communication. I don't even have to write anything anymore. Most people who are campaigning and creating content, they're constantly writing content. And then I just respond with my video. And it's like, I don't need to write anymore. So it's fucking fully automated communication at like a next level way to present yourself. It's unfucking believable. Like if I had,
I find ChatGPT to be pretty instinctive. Like, I'm not the most, obviously, you've talked with me, I'm not the most articulate person. And when I write things rough into ChatGPT, it can really guess what I'm trying to say, and it says it more clearly for me. So I'm really thankful for it. I don't know. Do you find that? as
I don't
well.
use ChatGPT. I use Grok on my X accounts to create
Big
content.
difference. Do you find that it's pretty instinctive, like it knows what you want to say, and it's helpful with being with articulating oneself?
Well, yeah, I mean, it answers my questions and it's doing research for me and putting it into bullet points. That's what I use it for. Like today, I said, explain to me congressional procedure, rules, laws, odd history items.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, if it gives me technical complexities that I don't know about that I want to know about. And then also gives me the added bonus of providing it as content. And it seems to get a lot of views, and the algorithm picks it up as being, okay, this is a valuable query. Let's display it in, the feed.
Nice.
So, but dude, if I were you, I mean, like a realtor asked me once, like, John, how do I market my real estate business? I was like, do you have a YouTube account? She's like, no. I was like, well, don't waste your time or money on anything else but YouTube. Don't create a website, have an Instagram, but like create videos, walk through videos, talk. Like you need content with keywords because your whole business is based on keywords.
Yeah.
You as like a perfume, anyways, I'm just saying, like,
brand. It's a small brand.
Yeah, your brand. I mean, you could launch a new brand with Sora. Like that's the power of it. Overnight, you could have 20 videos of a new brand. Like, and every day you could have a new brand. It's fucking wild.
Oh, I wouldn't do so. So yeah, you can leverage the AI and stuff like that. But it's like you've been doing your stuff for like a couple of months, couple of years or something. It's like it takes that stick-to-itiveness. So any kind of project, you got to stick with it for a couple of years to really. Sorry for the noise, but yeah, definitely. People who don't leverage AI will be huge deficit, 1,000%. They're really shooting themselves in the foot. They're really shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah.
See, people are fearful of giving up their identity on Sora because they're just hesitant because they haven't experimented with it. And then people are also hesitant about, having their identity made public. But when you let go of who you are or protecting your privacy, the power that gives you is exceptional. There's nothing like it. The fact that I can now be the president, I can be a factory worker, I can be a haircut, I can be any job plus a congressman. Like, but what I'm saying is, like, it doesn't matter what, if you're a lawyer and you need to find clients, and you need to create content, like Sora gives you a consultant that would create $200,000 worth of content for you for free. I mean, there are politicians putting out really high-end quality content, but they're spending a fortune for it. So Sora will disrupt, where people utilize it to disrupt, in conjunction with other platforms.
Oh yeah. There's a great article on AI2027.com. Really fantastic scenario. Have you listened to it yet?
No.
Oh, bro, it'll blow your mind. It's really an amazing paper. It's written by the top 10 whatever. In a way, a niche self-congratulatory group of computer geeks who call themselves the world's most accurate short near future AI prediction analysts, but they really are. So it's this AI 2027. If you Google it, on the top left-hand corner, you can press play and listen to the article. It's mind-blowing. It's a really fantastically interesting.
Outrage is not enough.
Oh man, the one thing I really don't like is the fact that, like, well, I guess it's not that I don't like it, but it's just obvious that there's no productivity in society today. Like, putting a video on Facebook and calling yourself a teacher collecting a pension, there's no productivity there. So I think that like the system is collapsing. Like as the debt increases, it's just an indicator that uh, it's that culture, that economy, that governance, everything is collapsing. Um, because there really is no productivity. We've been fooled synthetically with dopamine from our cell phones into thinking that this is viable. Um, I don't know. I think eventually America will have to like merge with like the whole corridor, meaning like South America, Central America, and Canada. Like it will just eventually, and it kind of already is in a way. It almost already is its own hemispheric, one world government. But when you look at the map of Asia, China, India, Russia, do you know that's where 80% of the whole world's population lives? And they're all interconnected. They're all connected. It's unbelievable. It's 80% of the world.
Eurasian
Eurasia, yeah.
Yeah, it's
For 60% of the world's population?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think China and India alone is like 70% of the world's population.
Yeah, it's like 2 out of 5 people. 2.5 people out of, yeah, it's almost half of the fucking global population.
It's and they're old cultures. They've got this kind of wisdom built into them. But yeah, it's, I don't know.
I think
yeah, it's how things collapse. That's very good. There's Timothy Snyder. I'll write his name. Oh, let me write the two things. So Timothy Snyder. He has a series of videos of how you can look up his stuff on tyranny. That's one collapse scenario. He seems concerned about that. He wrote this tiny little book, this little booklet, Mr. Snyder, around 15 years ago, and it's only like 20 pages, maybe 25 pages. It's like a book you could throw in the back pocket. I think a lot of governments around the world bought this book up, and I think like every congressman has a copy. It's like the standard little book on tyranny. You can look him up. But he's, he lays out how he is a specialist in how democracies slip into becoming less democratic or chaotic, or how democracies really lose trust.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when Iraq fell and when Syria fell, what were the two? Key defining characteristics of the fall of those civilizations and governments, or those governments, basically?
Well, with Iraq, I think it was Saddam Hussein was like this strong man, and he had a bunch of different groups of people.
Well, I got a point. My point is there are two characteristics that always happen when a country goes under. One is foreign invasion. Two is rapid inflation, meaning that the currency loses 99% of its value. And so the United States is currently under an invasion, and our currency is rapidly, devaluing, thus the affordability issue. So we are currently undergoing a civilizational or a governmental collapse based off of that. That's what I mean. We don't have an actual antagonist who's going to come in here and take us over through a military force. We just have, an illegal alien invasion force. It's not as bad as if we were invaded like Iraq or Syria and we were going to really fall, but the parallels are there.
Yeah. I'm just putting into ChatGPT, like, what are some characteristics of a democracy collapsing into tyranny or becoming less democratic? Hey, Ilmi. I don't know Ilmi, but don't know.
You do know me. Do I sound familiar?
Oh, hey, bro. Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Is that actually your picture?
No, it's not me. It's just a meme.
I didn't think it was you.
Yeah. It's just a meme.
Yeah.
What's the meme? I don't understand. Like a peaceful Muslim with a rose, but he's actually like a killer.
So basically, when there's like a bunch of fear mongering going on the news and on TikTok towards Muslim people, a bunch of like Middle Easterners will post this meme as a joke because it's like a Muslim dude holding a rose and he's just peaceful.
Yeah, 99.9999% of Muslims are just the same as everybody else, just fucking chilling.
Yeah, it's a very small like percentage of people that be up to nefarious things.
Well, there's crazy people everywhere, man. Violent people everywhere. So
yeah,
in every group of people.
Yeah.
Ilmi, let me ask you, since the room title is "Free Vaccines for a Limited Time Only," do you believe in providing free vaccines and free abortions to female minorities?
Why? Okay, wait. What do you mean by female minorities?
It's John.
What do you mean? Why? I just asked you. I mean, do you agree with that?
No, not why. What do you mean by female minorities exactly?
Click the link above. I'm creating marketing materials about free vaccines and free abortions because I'm trying to point out the ridiculousness of the situation that we're living in, that we're $39 trillion in debt, but yet still crying every day about women's access to free abortions. Everybody gets free vaccines. Like the country's completely broke and totally indebted. Like it should technically stop operating completely and entirely as is.
I don't know though. I don't know if the country's broke because ICE just got like $40,000 bonuses. So I don't know if the country's broke, March.
I hope those motherfuckers all quit their jobs. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
I don't know about free abortions or free vaccines. I honestly, I'm not a doctor, so I can't say if certain vaccines are bad or not. I'm not a scholar on.
Oh, you gotta be a fucking scholar to know that injecting yourself with an unnecessary injection is not in your best interest. Okay, I guess you really do believe the Quran is actually literal. So, anyways, welcome to Free Vaccines for a Limited Time Only. If you're a sucker and a patsy, we got a free vaccine for you tomorrow.
John's a little special.
I don't know. I think my stance is pretty sensible. I don't know.
Are you a homo?
There you go.
I'm assuming you're MAGA for sure.
No, I was asking.
No, man, he's not. Look, Ilmi.
Ilmi, I was asking if you're a Homo sapien, not an F word, man. A Homo sapien. Do you believe in Homo sapiens?
Yeah. Are we live right now, John? Are we live?
Yeah, you're live on YouTube, man.
Can I speak to the people?
Speak to we the people. What would you do if you were the president? What would your top 3 priorities be for we the peoples?
My top 3 priorities?
Number 1, treat everybody, spread love.
Yeah.
Not hate.
Well, if you want like executive decisions or like more philosophical decisions, what are you looking for from me, March? Executively, I think that I would try to implement the universal healthcare system.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
For Americans that are struggling with healthcare, paying for healthcare. Hopefully, we have the infrastructure.
Do you think Medicare, Medicaid is a human right?
Yes. 1,000%.
Even when the government's completely broke?
Okay, well, where are our taxes even going then, March? Tell me. If it's not coming back to the citizens...
It's going to people. You know where it comes out? It comes out on people's tax returns every year. That's where the fucking money's going. Where do you think it goes? People report their taxes. Yeah, but it always comes out to people. People have to file. Corporations file too, but that doesn't. That's meaningless. It's the people's adjusted gross income. The people that work at those corporations, all intertwined, but yet it's all done on fucking paper, stored in underground vaults. There's no accountability, no transparency, no interconnected databases. It's a fucking confession, and a lot of people lie on their shit. So we got a major. Anyways, there's too many problems to fix. So since there are too many problems, you know what they should do? They should suspend elections. They should utilize the military to take over the whole country, and they should absolutely take down the Federal Reserve, because the truth is, America, since the Federal Reserve Act, is no longer America. It's technically a totally separate entity, and the Federal Reserve is controlling the money with no regulation, no transparency, no oversight. They don't ask for monetary advice, and they don't give fiscal advice. They put it in their models. That's what they do, and they just manipulate the markets to meet the demands of the congressional representatives in the House. It is a wacky thing, but the fact is, it's a monopoly. It's a banking cartel monopoly that they got a literal certification for in 1915. I mean, they got the right to control the destiny of America.
Yeah,
it's
John,
wild.
you don't want to like throw energy into that conspiracy, man. That's a dark conspiracy.
It's not a fucking dark conspiracy. It's a fact. It's not. It is the left hand, right hand scheme. It's a scam. It's just a fucking scam.
I know. Like for you, maybe in your mind, you have a separation between, for example, like Jews and.
What are you bringing up Jews for? Jews got nothing to do with this.
Well, I'm about to make my point. My point is that a lot of people that talk about the Federal Reserve, their opinion, and this is not what I think, but this is what a lot of people, crazy conspiracy theorists, believe. They think, that this Federal Reserve is all controlled by Zionist entities. And I don't think this is a kind of fucking conspiracy theory that we should be spreading, man.
What the fuck? Bro, you're the one bringing it up, not me. What are you talking about? I don't bring that shit up.
Okay. I'm telling you, if you look up Federal Reserve current conspiracies.
This is my dad's.
I've got the book. I've got the Jekyll Island book. I don't think in that book.
That's thoroughly looked. I mean, a lot of people view that as a very anti-Semitic text.
What about Secrets of the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, it's all the same. Because the old fucking European conspiracies about Jews is that they all control the Federal Reserves of the world. This is one of their tropes. So I don't think it's a good one to dive into or to give any.
Yeah, but you don't think anything is good. You don't think criticizing the vaccine is good. You don't think criticizing abortion is good. You don't think criticizing fake money and immoral currency is good.
No. What I said is I don't like to see any.
Well, you don't have to worry about me, because I don't talk shit about the Jews, because people that want to talk shit about the Jews, they leave out the Indians, they leave out the Chinese, they leave out 3 out of 5 people on the planet. And so that is the problem. They're so fucking deranged and short-sighted, and they've got periscope vision. They are so fucked up mentally that there's no confidence in them. They're not seeing the whole world.
No, that's it. And that's the problem with allowing for any kind of conspiracies to even take place in the United States or anywhere in the world. Because for a lot of people that are anti-Semitic, it's always the Jews that are at the bottom of every conspiracy. I don't know what to tell you. This is the way a lot of crazy folks think, So that's why I think the answer is not throwing up your arms and saying, "Oh fuck, the world's fucked." Just gotta find a way to get people to trust one another again. Really.
Well, I've got some solutions. I do the book club. Most people on this app have a 30-second or less ADHD timed response. I have, a book club every Thursday mornings. We read books. We focus our minds on the information in the book, and
Nice.
that's the information we transfer. And it's salvation now.
Yeah. Like if you look up a lot of people you might consider to be lefties. Again, I don't consider myself to be a lefty at all. I just don't want to see. I just want to see people get along. Right?
Do you want to see anybody die?
No.
So you don't want to see abortions then? You want abortions to end?
Exactly.
Medically unnecessary abortions. You want those to end right away.
Yes.
But what about all the doctors who are getting paid and the insurance providers and the facilities and the products that are all associated with abortion? It's a $12 billion plus a year industry, $100 billion a year global industry.
I'm a pretty simple guy, John. Like, I just don't like seeing anybody suffer. I don't want to see any innocent person suffer.
Would you have an abortion if you were a 16-year-old girl and you didn't want to have the baby? You wanted to wait till you graduated college. Would you have the baby?
Yeah.
You wouldn't just go in for a quick little snip and have it killed?
No.
You would give birth to your baby, Matthew?
Well, this is mine.
That's beautiful. Maybe you could come up with a baby face perfume.
As I said, I'm a pretty simple person.
Can you make me a new perfume and call it baby face?
Yeah, sure. I could.
Baby face.
No,
spray a little baby face on me before we go to dinner, darling. Oh, you want the baby face?
I don't like to see any people to suffer.
You want the Matthew baby face? It smells like baby face.
Well, you know what, John? The hard thing in this world is actually to maintain your.
Guys, weirdest thing just happened to me.
What?
Bro, shit sucks. I got paid for some beats. I sold some beats to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sent me the money. He sent me $200 and on Apple Cash.
Nice.
Apple Pay. And I kept it in my Apple Pay account. I didn't withdraw it to my bank straight away.
Right.
I just left it in my Apple Pay account.
Yeah.
And bro,
he took it back.
I think somebody hacked my shit and transferred the money to another bank account.
But you got to contact Apple for that shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to. They're closed right now. I'm gonna contact them tomorrow.
Yeah, John, I think you'd like Ilmi too, because Ilmi, as far as I've talked with him, he's pretty has a pretty good moral compass. Ilmi, you're not really left versus right guy, right? You're more like everybody should try to get along, right?
I think everybody should try to get along, and whatever is the most moral and best thing we can do towards evolving our societies and making them better.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah, I trust society.
It is such bullshit. Oh, it's not a left thing. It's not a right thing. That's what people on the internet say. It is a left versus right thing, and the fact is, the left are intolerant. The left, when you get into a debate with them, they're ruthless. They are obnoxious. They are know-it-alls. They are social justice virtue signalers, and they know better than you 100% of the time. So fuck them. Hello?
So yeah, some of the people on the far left are like you suggest, and I do have a problem with them. I agree. But if you go too far left and you go too far right, it's all the same. They're crazy all around, bro. Don't you think, Hilmi? Like, people that are, like, way deep into their ideologies are crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
when they're way too deep in a certain pattern of thinking, they become, and then especially when you try to tell them that they're, like, too deep in a way of thinking, they get defensive and aggressive and stuff, you know?
Well, everybody's like that. It's the human mind. It's like, nobody wants to criticize their own in-group. That's the problem. And that's the problem. Again, that's why I have problems with like groupthink or, like Christians that will say, oh, everything Christians do are good. Or Muslims that will say, oh, everything Muslims do is always good. There's no bad. Everybody else is wrong. Or whatever group of people that will never find a problem with their own people because they're very stubborn. They don't actually have moral principles. They're more about defending their own group. And then they can't have like a true compass, you know. Then that results in cognitive dissonance and breakdown of you know, trust within a society. Yeah. So it's the hardest thing to do is to remain an individual and to keep the same moral stance you would for people that, you know, are supposed to be part of your quote unquote in group as you would have for other people. Of course, anytime I mention this on Clubhouse, people go fucking absolute apeshit because they know that what I'm saying is true. I'm calling them out on their hypocrisy. You know, I guess some people would say I'm a leftist. I said I don't want to see anybody getting hurt. John asked me, well, okay, would you not want? Am I against abortions? And I said, generally, absolutely, I am. You know, I can't understand that about leftists. Leftists will say, you know, we don't want war. Leftists will say, you know, they'll be like completely pro-Palestine, you know, for example, save the babies in Gaza, right? But then if you ask them, well, are you okay for abortions? They'll say, yeah, 100% abortions. Like, who am I to tell a woman what to do with her body? And I see that as hypocritical. So at least I am like, you know, I don't like abortions. I don't think they're right. I don't think a child should be killed because of some criminal. You know, if a man rapes a woman, that man should be put in jail. But the child, if it's a child, why would you kill an innocent person for what somebody else did? At the same time, I never generalize about all Jews. And I would never, and I know that there are some people within Palestine that are just absolutely would love to see Israel erased from the map. At the same time, I don't like Netanyahu because I think the man's insane. So I think there's a lot of wrong going on so many sides, but at least I try to keep my moral center. Like, I know, yeah, you see what I mean, Yomi?
My bad, Matthew. I was talking to my brother.
Matthew, like, imagine taking the perspective of a more stronger right of center position. Can that, you know, can you even entertain a more right of center position?
No, I would. For me, it really depends on the specific topic, John. It depends on the
all topics, not specificity. I'm talking generalized.
No. Because I've read enough history, John. I know that when we start to generalize about shit, and I understand that when we allow ourselves to be taken in with an ideology, that road leads to a lot of bad things. So I'll let other people on Clubhouse and around the world pick their sides and their teams, and, you know, pretend when their own teams aren't doing anything bad, and, you know, like, simplify the world. They can do that. I just, you won't find me to doing that, you know. And John, man, you know what? I don't know if you know this about me, but early on in Clubhouse, a couple years ago, I was really concerned about fucking very far leftists, and like their, you know, Foucault anti-reality. You know, when I came into some Clubhouse rooms, there were people saying, "Oh, I shouldn't talk because I'm a white man" or something, like just stupid stuff like that. It was blatantly racist, right? And I tried to understand it, and I brought in a gentleman, a professor from up here in Canada, Stephen Hicks, and he wrote a book called On Postmodernism. You might enjoy it. I'll put it in the chat. And he really breaks down, you know, just the nonsense that like extremely far left thought goes through. So they sort of, there are some good points to it, but you know, just how cynical and anti-enlightenment and anti-Western a lot of far leftists are. And I'm really against that stuff. You know, at the same time, I think that what the ICE agents are doing is essentially their role is to create fear on the street. And I do see tyrannical tendencies.
Bro, they have a goal of removal, not fear, schmuck.
Nah, it's fear. I think it's just fear. They're fucking Gestapo as far as I'm concerned.
Bro, your
But we'll have to
verbiage, your
disagree.
terminology is insulting to people who fucking liberated Europe, my friend. And dumb fucks who you want to use Anne Frank as a comparison, besmirch that poor Jewish girl murdered name. Everybody is making false comparisons all the time. It's obnoxious. You better watch what you say because what you say matters. And when you call law enforcement Nazis, you're the fucking problem. You accept some personal responsibility here. You are the fucking problem.
No. That's how, because if you trace out the history of Germany between World War I and World War II, you'll realize that the Gestapo in the early days didn't function at all how they functioned later on, right? So there was a real gradual gradation to things. Same thing with the secret police in Iran, same thing with the secret police in Russia and in Venezuela and all sorts of different countries around the world. I'm not saying they're one for one comparison. That's absolutely not true whatsoever. But I'm saying I do believe that if we were to allow for Trump to do whatever he wanted, he would turn the United States into a tyrannical government, or I do feel that way.
Well, so you think Trump is Benito Mussolini is what you think? Okay.
No. I think he's more similar to the guy in Hungary. What's his name?
Tito.
No. Tito was Yugoslavia. The guy in Hungary right now. So there's a really
Orban.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a really fantastic book now called. It's a book written about modern tyrants. They're definitely not. Look, even when Putin got in power, right, John? He allowed for press, and there was hundreds of newspapers that were totally anti-Putin, and he allowed for them for years. For like the first 7 years, but then he slowly began to shut them down, and that's what I feel now. That's usually how things happen. It's a very gradual thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this: what does leadership mean to you?
So, in the ideal world, what governmental leadership should be is for me, ideally, the goal is a high trust society where the people living in that country can get along with one another. And responsible leadership is about crafting the environment for people to get along. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the ideal. Those are my ideals. Well, as you can see, I'm an idealist, right?
So, if you were in charge and you had suspicions about your local Pfizer executive that, the results that they were claiming weren't actually accurate and that there could be a risk to inject your entire population with an untested ZAV, do you think as a leader you would have the strength to tell that that executive when those lobbyists had already put $25 million in your bank account? Do you think you'd have the strength, Matthew, to resist a global scamdemic? Do you think you'd be that kind of leader? Would you have the willpower to say no and then publicly address your people and say, this is a danger, I'm resisting and standing up for your safety? You think you got the balls to do that, Matthew?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Are you vaccinated?
Yeah, because I didn't think it's a scam.
Are you double vaccinated?
Yeah.
Are you boosted?
I think in total, in the last, since COVID, I think I got in total 3 vaccines. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I have a third eyeball, but I don't think that's from the vaccine. No, but that's, you can't fault me for being an idealist, right? That's just who I am.
Do you think
And I
it's
really hope,
do you
and I
think it's
really
better
hope that-
if we get into an argument as Americans?
Yeah.
Do you think if we get into an argument with foreign leaders, do you think it's better to bomb their whole fucking country and then invade it and crush all resistance, or do you think it's better to just fly in special operations and arrest their president and fly back to America and hold him as a prisoner?
It's really depends on the situation.
Depends. Everything's a depend with this guy. Oh my god.
Of course. Obviously, man.
Do you think that Tora Bora, the Bin Laden HQ of evil, the mountain complex, was real in Afghanistan?
I hope it was. I hope it wasn't just all AI or CGI.
Because you do know Donald Rumsfeld just had a graphic made of what it could look like, but said this is what it looks like in their Tora Bora Dr. Evil cave in Afghanistan.
Yeah. I know. I am also distrustful of authority. I'm distrustful of a lot of information coming from every angle.
So why would you trust that 3 injections were in your best interest? I just don't get it.
Well, my general opinion is that science is not perfect. But I also believe that...
So you were willing to use your body to try to prove your fucking theory? I mean, how stupid are you? Admit it. You're fucking stupid.
No, I'm not stupid. I mean...
You're gullible. Okay, you're not stupid. You're a fool, and you're gullible.
No.
You're gullible. You're very gullible. Yep.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, society can't function with zero trust. It's just not going to function. It's just going to fall to pieces. I don't think that's what you're calling for.
Bro, I was working at the IRS for multiple years. They told me if you don't get vaxxed, you're going to be terminated. I said, fucking terminate me. It'll be the greatest honor in the world to be terminated for turning down your fucking forced clot shot. I can't wait for the victory after that. I just wrote him a religious exemption letter, and then eventually Trump overturned it and said federal employees don't have to get the ZAB. And so, I'm just telling you, oh, look who it is. It's our friend, that beautiful PTR. Wow, you really outdid yourself. You made yourself even uglier by turning it upside down. Nicely done, Adam.
All right, well, you take care. I'll pray for a high trust society.
I'll pray that you don't have, adverse reactions or turbo cancers. And I'll pray that, maybe genetically, maybe you've mutated beyond any type of, problems. You could be the next stage of human evolution.
Maybe.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, hello? Hello? Hello?
Stop!
Oh, my burp. Ugh, it stinks. It smells.
Wait, who are you again?
Excuse me?
Who are you again?
I said, excuse me? Hello? Are you vaxxed?
Are you stupid?
Are you vaxxed?
I'm unvaxxed.
Do you want to get vaxxed?
No.
Well, this is a free vaccine room, so I guess, you're going to have
semen.
to... You want semen injected into your vagina?
No.
Oh, hello?
That's not what I meant.
Oh, I thought you said semen.
I did.
Oh. Hello? Hello?
Bitch.
Hello? Are you projecting? Are you angry? Hello? Your two keywords so far have been semen and bitch. Hello? Hello?
Meow.
Hello?
Your mom.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Hello?
Are they after you?
They?
Yeah.
Who are they?
You know who they are.
Who they be? Hello? 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 Oh, well, I tried. Oh, no. Hello? Ooh, damn. is it me you're looking for?
Bro, there's options, man. You can join a recovery group. You could go to an open meeting at AA and talk about it. You know, open meetings mean that basically you can have any type of an addiction and talk about it. So in an open meeting, you might meet somebody who's got like a social media addiction or a porn addiction or sex addiction or meth addiction or fucking addiction to smoking cigarettes or an addiction to smoking weed or an addiction to smoking crack. I mean, it doesn't just have to be alcohol. So there's options, bro. And
I was weed is the only thing that fucking helps cancer patients with a lot of stuff. Like, so like I attest to it, you know, but like I don't have cancer, you know, and she's not here anymore. So like I've been having a hard time of like just excusing myself of like the medicinal part of it, you know, like I don't need it like she needed it, you know. And like I was the fucking curator of it all for her, you know. So it's like it's hard to quit it, but it's becoming more easy as I realize like I don't need it for the medicinal actual reason. If someone has cancer, they're going through chemo, that's a different fucking story, you know. Like, so it's like stop bullshitting. Like if you're a normal person and you like just smoke because you think it's good medicinally, well, if you don't need it medicinally, then you don't need to fucking smoke it, right? Like, so I've been like wrestling with that shit just to put it all out there in public here.
Sorry, I'm texting my wife. I'm listening now. I just want to welcome March to the stage. Are you there, Mark?
Yo. Yeah, I mean, sobriety is great. Going to the gym is great. Reading books is great. You know, I know Makeup Pop spends a lot of time in her bird aviary. She's got a lot of parrots. She's like a talking parrot, talking bird.
CIA affiliated coward.
CIA affiliated? I wish I was CIA. I wish I was getting some money from Langley, Virginia. I wish they were sending me money.
You deserve to be in a psych ward, but it's all good.
A psych ward?
Yeah.
You might be projecting, Riabia. You're the one who hates America, not me.
Phones.
Oh, you don't like my phone collection? You know, I got a comic book collection?
You're retarded.
Oh, I'm a retard. I didn't know I was retarded.
Multiple phones just to be on a fucking walkie-talkie app. Like, you are fucking retarded.
A walkie-talkie app?
I'm surprised. Like I always tell you, I'm surprised the radiation hasn't fried your fucking brain cells by now, man. The fuck, man. And you're a failed congressman. And the FBI is going to investigate your stupid ass, too. You and Norm.
Oh, Norm.
No motherfuckers.
You got to pull Norm into this criticism, huh? Well, I don't know. Are you worthy of any mockery or criticism, Riabia?
Let's see. Only fools mock me.
Only fools. Do you think you're stupid or do you think you're a fool?
I said only fools mock me, and you be one of them, dumbass.
All right. Well, if you say so, Riabia. I mean, it looks like you got things figured out. Are you in a Chinese restaurant or a bodega in your PTR there?
Bro, you guys got chill. I'm hungry now.
I'm surprised you're wearing a North Face jacket. That's very white of you. Great choice, though. I like North Face jackets.
Dumb as fuck.
They're expensive, though, aren't they? Surprisingly, so expensive. I gotta buy them used on eBay to afford them.
All right, guys. Let's not argue. Come on.
All right. Nah, I mean, every time I see him, see certain other people, I see red. You know what I mean? So I apologize.
You're like a bull.
It's all good, bro. I understand. He gets under a lot of people's skin, but I have the rare honor to call him a friend. You know, so
Augustus is one of the rare people I've actually met.
Smoked some weed. Had a good time a few years ago. It was pretty cool.
We predicted things. We wrote, Kennedy,
Hey,
2020.
Augustus, be careful who you call a friend.
Oh yeah, Ray, I've been giving advice on Clown House all day long. The best advice and complainer giver on Clown House.
Bro, he just said he'd stop. He'd stop with the bullshit. You gotta stop now. Come on, bro.
I'm just saying that if people think Riabio's advice is better than the library, I mean, you got to question yourself sometimes,
I'm on a one-pager right now for a basic petitioning script to audit the city of Austin. So, yeah, let's just try to keep it like ebb and flow because my chakra is in alignment to get this done.
Why Austin?
It's just for my job. I work for one of my clients is a government affairs firm, and they asked me to do this last minute thing for the morning. I'm not sure. Something about like the city of Austin used taxpayer money to spend like $1 million on a logo for some shit. I don't know. That's all I understand from it. So they want to audit the city.
Well, I would really encourage you to go to my Instagram, John Kitover, because I'm using Sora to make videos that are so amazing. For example, Dr. John is injecting minorities with vaccines and providing free abortions, or providing free vaccines for babies, or women free vaccines that just had abortions. So I am trolling and creating political messaging. Well, it's all satire and comedy. It's not, people, when you watch it, you realize that this guy's making fun of it. It's sarcasm. It's intelligent humor. It's intelligent humor. People get it. It's not to trick people. It's to wake people up.
Oh, okay.
Sarcasm is very powerful.
Is that all satire is? Just fiction? Trying to stir up people's emotions, or is it rooted in realism?
It's rooted in fact that it's unnecessary medical intervention, which is not based in science, but based on lies, obviously.
That's what our medical institution is built on. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean sometimes, but like if you need a surgeon, you might reanalyze that sentiment. There are times where you may choose medical intervention because it's in your best interest.
That's not what I was going at. The Holocaust started in hospitals. Do you know that part? It started in hospitals. They were experimenting and killing people in hospitals first before it was a full-blown Holocaust. Do you know that? So I just wonder, where does satire begin and reality go?
On my Sora account. Just type in John Kitover on Sora. You can see where it begins for me right now. Are you a creative person?
I am.
Well, there's never been a more powerful medium than videos. Videos are still the undefeated champion of the internet.
Yeah, in what context?
But why is it that like the video creator doesn't make it?
Grab a slice and sit down, folks. That's stay in lockup, boss. Leave the cheese off the floor, all right? Today we're offering free.
Hello.
Yeah, you just have to be in the right demographic with Google's advertisers. So there are, a lot of publishers on YouTube that are family friendly, fathers, wives, and stuff, and they film themselves in their house and they make a lot of money. But it's still kind of sick and crazy because, like, I'm watching this Riviera family or whatever on YouTube. His wife has her fat ass up in the air and she's crawling on the rug, and the babies. It's like there's a sexual element to them, presenting their lives. And I'm like, this is gross. Like, this is a family friendly YouTube channel, but yet they're still using the wife in like a sexual way to get clicks. It's sick. So, like, people are willing to denigrate themselves for clicks and money. It's the OnlyFans, business model.
That's a shame.
But I put my link in the chat. Watch that YouTube video, and you tell me if they're not powerful, subversive satire and funny at the same time.
You just can't say anything on stage. Can you be more specific?
What?
Who, me?
This is subversive satire. Just one of the better understanding of what you're trying to say.
Well, Sora allows you to create these videos about vaccines and abortions because those are the two idols on the left. So I'm using it, against them, that they are allowing me to create these videos, which they, according to their terms of service and policy, they think that I'm creating in line with their sentiment, but I'm actually just roasting it. That's what the subversive satire is.
Okay.
Like talking about nothing.
Well, we could talk about ICE until 2027. Somebody's going to get shot and killed tomorrow who wants to take their cell phone out and record and get in the middle of a legal intervention. But guys like Riabia, they believe that they're Gestapo Nazis. And I think if you think that the police are Gestapo Nazis, you're the fucking problem. I mean, my dad was a cop for 30 years. He never really abused people. He always tried to help people.
Is Gestapo an Italian term?
I think that was the Nazi Gestapos, which were the Secret Service police of the Nazis.
So Gestapo's German.
Yeah. The fascists in Italy, I don't know what they called their intelligence.
So it is Italian.
No, Gestapo, I believe, is German. We could Google it. But
Let's Google that, please.
Hey, Google, tell us what a Gestapo is.
Ask him if it's Italian.
Hey, Google, is the term Gestapo Italian?
So it is. I'm gonna start pulling my Italian card and telling everybody they can't say it because they're not Italian. I'm tired of how many times I heard the word Gestapo today.
Yeah, it's German.
Already.
It's short for Geheime Staatspolizei, which is secret state police, is the brutal official secret police of the Nazi Germans in 1933, led by figures like Heinrich Himmler. It operates outside of judicial oversight to hunt down enemies of the regime, playing a central role in the Holocaust and state terror until 1945.
Okay.
They investigated treason, espionage, sabotage, criminal attacks against the Nazi Party, often using torture and arbitrary arrest. It functions above the law, with 1936 legislation exempting its actions from judicial review. It was essential for enforcing the Holocaust. Formed in 1933, it was later integrated into the SS, or the Schutzstaffel, leadership founded by Hermann Göring, and there's a movie out about Göring right now, which to me is like propaganda, but largely controlled by Heinrich Himmler as chief of the German police, headquartered in Berlin.
Okay, that's good information. I think that we got to get the interpreter up here. He's great.
So Riyabia, let me
The
ask.
stage interpreter, if you choose to come up.
Let me ask
That'd
you.
be amazing.
Let me ask Riyabia a question. Riyabia, if you were the president of the United States, what would your 3 priorities be for we the people?
Me?
No, Riyabia or you. Anybody can answer it.
Anybody but me?
No, you can answer it too.
What my 3 priorities would be, but I don't think you'll like it.
I might. What? Well, give me your 3 priorities.
Well, it'd be like a lot of banning, a lot of kicking out, and a lot of arrests, a lot of jail. You don't want me to be the president.
It sounds very fascistic.
Hmm?
Sounds very fascistic.
Yes, very. I'm not the guy you want to be president, okay? I'd be better at like being like a warden of a jail or something. I'm good at where I'm at, to be honest, because this is what I do is I do creative stuff. So the more of an outlet that I got, the better for everybody else.
Well, I asked Grok the other day, how much has Bernie Sanders raised in total donations during the course of his time as a politician? Would you guess that that guy is like a unicorn? He's raised almost $1 billion in political donations. $1 billion. And yet he's got the nerve to sit there and scream at Kennedy during Senate hearing confirmations about how Kennedy is a liar and a fraud and a scam artist.
Are you serious?
You never saw the videos of Bernie Sanders just yelling nonstop? Yeah,
I did see that.
Him, Elizabeth Warren, and a bunch of other Democrat senators. It is so fucking sickening. But if you show those videos to a liberal Democrat, they're just like, they're right, Kennedy's crazy. And you're like, oh my God, like people on this app today are saying, you can't believe what's right before your eyes. And you're like, when you watch those hearings, you're like, these are the most corrupt people in the world pushing a poison on us because they're paid and blackmailed to do what they're told to do because they got fucking $25 million from fucking Pfizer. And you're like, this is fucking crazy. This is illegal. This is dangerous. This is treason. These are betrayers. These are liars. And they're just spamming us with their fucking lies all day, every day. That can't be the job of a congressman or a senator to sit there and create fucking content videos to lie to us all day long. It's fucking sick.
And their content videos are trash too, by the way, just from a production perspective.
That's because they're cheap and they want to.
How long are we willing to be lied to? Because as long as I've been alive, it's the same playbook, and we haven't changed a thing. I saw a TikTok video where someone from Canada said, "America, do something, do something, do something, do something," and that's all his video said is "do something." And if we know this is propaganda, we know this is our lies.
Offering free vaccines.
Why? What? 100 years later, we're still.
Welcome to the pop-up clinic. Home with a speaker. I can fix Congress, but I can't even fix the coffee machine. But I'd be eating deep dish with a bunch of.
It's just
Reviewing all the evidence, I hereby find both of you guilty. Guilty of what? Risky, guilty of devouring pizza and chugging.
Well, it is an upward hill battle, which is not a good position to be in if you're waging a war. For example, I've run in politics and I have observed the Republicans that I'm running against or communicating with are actually not Republicans. They're fucking Democrat liberals that have infiltrated the Republican Party and pose. So the liberal Democrats control the whole fucking thing. So even if you beat the fake Republicans, the real Democrats will still win because we're squabbling with ourselves with fake people. So the whole system is completely co-opted and completely taken over. You have to live a perfect life coming out of the womb just to survive, meaning that you can have no fuck-ups and you have to try your absolute hardest to compete in an extremely competitive Hunger Games world. And it's not supposed to be this way. The dollar has lost 99% of its value. We've been sold out for countless years. And the past 25 years are the worst, but the past 80% of all dollars ever created have been created just in the past 5 years because of the COVID-19 response and the HRX. So we are going into an unprecedented financial collapse, and it's not going to be pretty for people that can't survive. It will become a Hunger Games.
Yeah, bro. That's why I didn't answer your question. You know, what would I do if I were president? Because, like, I'm crazy enough to run for president one day. You know, you need to have that certain level of just like,
I've already done it.
And when I do not need, you know, that January 27th, 2026 clubhouse room coming up where they're like, look, this is what you said if you were going to be the president. And I'm like naming all this crazy shit. Because he's right, you know? Like, you cannot fuck up in this world, bro. Or else you are fucked. In this politics world, at least. You know? That's why.
I just think that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Augustus.
No, that's cool. What were you gonna say?
Like these talking points, I think are serving who? Because I was born in a country that propagates the people have the voice, and I just don't see our voices anywhere. I think we saw it in the 60s and in the 40s and probably in the 20s, something like that.
With JFK?
Yeah, I mean, historically. But today, we're so complacent. We're so complacent that we're paralyzed, and then, you know, have platforms where we complain about what we see and think and present it as if it's new, and it's not. It's really, really old. We just haven't done a whole bunch of shit. We haven't done anything in a long time, especially after peaceful protests. We stopped the sit-ins. No one in college is stopping college from happening. No one is stopping currency. We're having protests on the weekend. I think that's the weakest shit we could ever do, is have protests on the weekends. Like, I can go back to my comfortable fucking job, pay my bills, and think our American government is going to make a change because we had some beautiful signs posted. Even though there's some people losing their lives on the line, the idea that we are a consumer economy, and we're not even stopping the dollar. And that was our weapon back in the day. We're not even doing that shit. We're just so fucking complacent. Christmas was still very successful this year. It was ridiculous. Why is Christmas so successful if we are having problems with everything you just said? We have power, and we just won't do anything about it. We just won't. And then we want to pretend like we just found out that they're doing some devious things to us and propagandizing us. Those things aren't new. We're just refusing. We're just using that as a talking point to pretend
Fake Republicans,
like we want to do something about it, because we're really not doing anything about it. We're just committing and prostrating ourselves on these stages to make ourselves look good. We're not doing shit.
I know that's right.
Well, I'm doing real shit.
I totally agree with you. I gotta give you a follow. How do I say your name?
For asking, it's Kia, like the car, Kia. Thank you for asking.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Augustus.
You too. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Kia, I mean, are you doing anything politically in your area? Do you even know who your representatives are? I hate saying that, but it's the truth. You should try to engage them, follow them on their platforms, go to their events, ask them difficult questions. And if you think they're artificial synthetic robots, well, record them, put them on the internet, and roast them. Mockery and roasting can go a far way in, in winning.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
It sucks, but this is politics.
Might stop. The best thing that we have done in my last years, because I'm a pretty old lady, our last years is boycott Disney to get, what was his name? I don't even know his name, but I didn't watch him. Kimmel back on stage. I didn't know him. I didn't vote for him. I mean, I didn't vote for him. I don't watch his show. But the idea that America was standing up for something and said boycott Disney, I thought it was a good enough reason, right? And it worked, right? Retract. Yeah, that we knew it worked. We knew it worked in the past, but fuck the past, because we don't know the past. We don't know the past at all. Goddamn much where we actually fucking did something, like retract our dollars to make some shit happen. And after that example, that successful example, we've done nothing since. The holidays showed up after that. What the fuck did we do? Did we retract our dollars? No. We didn't retract our dollars. Because, the baby needs a toy train. I don't fucking know. Or you need the brand new fucking necklace or a Rolex watch. I don't fucking know. Our spoiled asses won't allow us to not go without what we want for the greater cause. And do is just go online and complain about it and then use our smarts and say, well, the right versus the left. And I'm smart enough to know politics and won't do shit about it. Put your money where your fucking mouth is, what we didn't care about. But we won't do it with anything else. Not for Minnesota, not whichever human rights, not for Palestine, not for nothing. Because as long as we can get our fucking Waffle House breakfast when we want it, we're satisfied and go home. As long as we have our fucking Waffle House, it's not we ain't got we don't care. It's all just fucking talking points to make it sound good and feel goddamn good. So Marge, when you come off the mic again, you have to give us more concrete information as opposed to what I think I know and what I want y'all to know that I know as opposed to what you do. Because we ain't doing shit as Americans.
In the 19th century, religious dogma loosens its hold as science gains ground, ushering in a sense of new possibilities.
It was a time of immense change, social change, economic change, technological change. We had seen the monopoly of knowledge and power that had been held for hundreds of years by the Catholic Church, challenged by the Protestant Reformation, and increasingly challenged by the rise of the scientific method.
We're talking about a period in the 1880s and 1890s, and what else is going on? Internal combustion engines, industrialization, the airplanes just around the corner. So everything is very much materialistic. And contrary creatures that human beings are, an emphasis on materialism in many people would create a desire for a kind of spiritual counterbalance to that. And in some ways, there's nothing more esoteric and immaterial in some ways than the occult.
The unbelievable became imaginable.
Spiritualism, the idea that one could speak to the dead, was incredibly in vogue. But the Victorians were also experimenting with crystals, tarot cards, and early forms of hypnosis.
When Darwin's theory of evolution is popularized, now we have to confront the fact that as humans, we're not some kind of elevated being. We're another one of the animals. We were not gifted this world because we earned it or because we deserved it, but simply because we were an animal that was succeeding in the vicious marketplace of natural selection. People were terrified about the loss of meaning, and spiritualism sort of helped to fill that void by reintroducing the world of spirit, by reintroducing the idea of soul and the eternal.
But one event would launch the Victorian era's complete obsession with the mystical, mysterious, and occult. In March of 1848, three sisters living in upstate New York claimed to hear knocks on walls and furniture. The phenomenon continues, and the girls and their mother attempt to communicate with the source of the knocking, asking it questions and receiving knocks in response.
Of course, one of the great horrors of a materialistic physical world is loss.
People were very close to death every day. We didn't have modern medicines.
If there was some kind of way that we could have evidence that after the physical form dies, the spiritual form lives on, that would be a tremendous relief to many people. And this evidence appeared to show up in the 19th century with the Fox sisters in New York State, who started to hear an odd rapping and tapping in their home. And so word of this gets out, and the Fox sisters become celebrities. People like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, becomes a huge fan of them. And again, when we see something happen that we don't understand a cause and effect, we come up with our own interpretation to understand what it means. A sound that we can't localize might be a ghost knocking or a spirit in the house, when in fact it's something very innocuous. Our mind gets there, but it's based on what we're primed to believe and think.
Alongside spiritualism, a new impulse emerges. It's concerned with reviving the mysterious practices of the ancients. Practices from ancient Egypt, Greece, and Jewish mysticism become fashionable. It is on this stage that the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn emerges.
So what you have in high society Victorian London is a rash of seance parties and different ways of entertaining the elite who had time and money and wanted to have their imagination and their senses tickled.
In group, and you're going to see that the more you know or the more you believe, the more you fit in with others, and you start getting this kind of groupthink working together about this belief in spiritualism.
But while for some, a fascination with the dead and ancient civilizations was a pastime, for others it became a course study.
There starts to be rumors of a secret society that has ancient knowledge, the Rosicrucians.
The Rosicrucians, probably one of the oldest secret societies. They were somewhat Gnostic Christian in their concepts. They believed in the much older ideas of Christianity. And Christian Rosencreutz was the supposed founder of this belief system. And this was all about delving into and penetrating the secret traditions of Christianity.
These societies and movements were extremely popular, and men wanted to be part of them for many reasons. First of all, you wanted the insight. You wanted to be able to speak to someone who has passed on. You wanted to perform a ritual that's going to allow you to conjure something. There was a great allure in that. But also, if you can master some of that and perform it for others, you're going to make money. You're going to attract a following.
So Rosicrucian groups are springing up all over Europe, and they aren't necessarily united, they aren't necessarily connected. Again, because it's based on inspiration, basically anybody can just form one and say that they are part of it. It's more of a feeling, it's more of an energy than it is a specific doctrine.
Guys, I just found something cool that helps me earn a bit of extra cash and declutter my space. Watch this. So this app is Carrot, where you can buy and sell stuff in your area. Look, you just scan, and Carrot tells you how much you could sell it for. Like instantly, $275 already? That's kind of exciting. And the best part, you can post it right away. No typing, just tap, and you're done. Wow. If your place is full of random stuff like mine, download the Carrot app. Selling's crazy.
One of these groups is the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, a large Rosicrucian group that shows up in England. And what we see from that group is three members in particular, William Westcott, William Woodman, and Samuel Mathers, who would go on to form a very influential occult society called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
The formation of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn would depend upon one crucial moment in 1886, when Westcott is said to have found the cipher manuscripts within the library of the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia. He finds 60 folios watermarked with the year 1809.
When you form a group which has allegedly occult knowledge, you have to have an origin story. You have to have an explanation as to how you came across that knowledge.
The cipher documents were written in code, containing astrological symbols and Hebrew letters. In order to decrypt the pages, Westcott would need help.
To decode manuscripts, Westcott recruits two of his fellow of Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia colleagues, William Robert Woodman and Samuel Little McGregor Mathers at the time. Woodman is Westcott's senior,
The supreme magi of the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, Samuel Little McGregor Mathers, is multilingual and a bit of a polymath. Together, they set out to translate the cipher manuscripts. Did they have access to an ancient but universal knowledge that brought them to higher planes of consciousness? Using a tabula recta, a square table of alphabets, the numerals are substituted for letters of the Hebrew alphabet and read right to left. In deciphering these secret documents that were describing an occult order which had been formed in Germany sometime earlier, what's been discovered in the cipher manuscripts includes a grade A system that is not unlike other esoteric organizations like the Rosicrucians, a system with 4 grades of initiation, starting as zealot and leading to philosophus. Also laid out is a curriculum of material that uses Hermetic Kabbalah as a framework for the study of astrology, tarot, geomancy, and alchemy, concepts that are within the manuscripts formatted into a course of study. Is it a new religion or is it a lost one? They would have been perplexed by the possibilities.
Of course, if somebody comes with a magic book with revealed truths, we should
telling the truth. We're really living in a society, especially back then, where if it was written down and signed, it meant something.
Abbé Constant then lost track of the manuscript, where it fell into the hands of Kenneth Mackenzie and Frederick Holland. Frederick Holland had been a Freemason and fellow member of the Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia and founder of London's first spiritualist organization, the Charing Cross Spirit Circle. He was a collector of old texts.
Knew to give birth to something, particularly in the occult realm, played some great role in his decision. Now, Westcott was a coroner, and so every day would be confronted with evidence of the temporary nature of the material world lying in front of him on a slab. Now, how could you be confronted with that every day and not have a desire to go to the spiritual world, to provide some kind of hope that this wasn't the end? Mathers was an interesting character. He had, some would argue, a kind of abrasive personality, and you could see how in somebody like that, the idea of forming a new society, especially a society that had to do with secret knowledge, secret powers, would really appeal to somebody who had his kind of disposition.
Anna Sprengel informs the men that she's not alone in sanctioning them to start their own society. They have also been given a supreme authority from none other than the secret chiefs.
The idea of secret chiefs or superior beings, this becomes a very key element to many secret societies and to the idea of where they're gaining their information from. So we are looking beyond God. They are the ultimate, all of them passed on to people in these societies.
Is the idea of some sort of level of authority above human. And many of these doctrines, they're ascended humans. They had once lived on earth as men, but then they had attained such enlightenment that they had then gone on to become these kind of godlike creatures. It's about as vague and mumbo-jumbo-y as you can possibly get.
The power of a secret society is the knowledge, the secrets that they have. Now, that knowledge tends to be based on revealed knowledge rather than empirical knowledge, because it's hard to hide empirical knowledge. Because empirical knowledge is based on observation, because it's based on measurement and testing, anybody can do the same tests and come to the same conclusions. Whereas revealed knowledge is protected because it's a unique relationship between the person and the spirit world.
That gives them a level of authenticity to convince others to join.
With the sanction of the secret chiefs, did they have access to an ancient but universal knowledge that brought them to higher planes of consciousness? The temple is named Isis Urania number 3, after Greek goddess of astronomy and poetry, Urania, and Egyptian goddess of fertility, Isis.
when you walk into it, you see all sorts of mystical elements everywhere, from Greco columns, Egyptian hieroglyphs. You've got all sorts of mystical symbols around from a variety of religions.
It's a real hodgepodge, almost a kind of spiritual food court where you could go in and get a sample of all sorts of different traditions all brought together in this strange headquarters.
Although William Westcott is head of the Isis Urania Temple, Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers takes the lead in developing the curriculum for London's newest secret society. Using the skeletal framework offered by the cipher manuscripts, MacGregor Mathers draws from esoteric texts, ancient traditions, Christianity, occult practices, and Kabbalah to create the order's grades. Did they have access to an ancient, universal knowledge that brought them to higher planes of consciousness? Years later, documents would reveal the lengths to which MacGregor Mathers went to create a unifying structure for the new Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Pretty much the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, there's nothing terribly original in it. It was repackaging everything from tarot to alchemy to the secret chiefs to real magic. They didn't invent any of these things.
To reach enlightenment, the Order's adepts must progress through a series of grades whose framework is based on the Tree of Life, the centerpiece of ancient Jewish mysticism and Kabbalah.
It's many years of study to even begin to grasp the Jewish Kabbalah. It has the Jewish alphabet, and the Tree of Life marks points on your body, but the Hermetic Kabbalah is very different.
Hermetic Kabbalah emerged in the Renaissance. Jewish Kabbalah was absorbed, reinterpreted, and taught by thinkers like Henrik Cornelius Agrippa, a magical occult writer, astrologer, and alchemist who actually believed his interpretation of Kabbalah was the oldest form of ancient religion. He pairs concepts like the Tree of Life with Egyptian and Greek mythology, astrology, alchemy, and other occult practices like tarot.
The Golden Dawn believed that studying the system of the Western Kabbalah will get the person to the highest level of enlightenment.
The Golden Dawn is the end stage that the members of the Hermetic Order were trying to reach. They're going to go up level by level till they can get to this point, which really embodied all the creational energies of the universe were in this Golden Dawn, and you could get to that stage. Really what they're saying is you can get to be like a god. So it can be very enticing to promise somebody that they would end up having total control, even if they're
universal ancient religion, that all of these modes of worship and communication between humans and the otherworldly can be tied together. They're historical artifacts of a singular truth.
All Hermetic magic is based on one fairly simple yet complex idea, and that is as above, so below. It's this idea that you can perform rituals in the physical world, which then go off and affect the spiritual world, which then again comes back and affects the physical world.
At times spanning months of study, each level requires the adepts to master the system of symbols, almost like passcodes to another reality, to complete written exams, and to be initiated by Westcott and the Isis Urania chiefs. After each level, adepts were treated to initiations held under lock and key. Within a year, Westcott, Woodman, and MacGregor Mathers have initiated 23 new members.
These people, the majority of them, great minds and thinkers of the time, great writers, great poets, great artists, and the greatest occult thinker of all time, believed they could take themselves into another mental space, an astral journey somewhere new, different, and not available to us mere mortals who didn't invest heavily in the time-consuming practice of magic.
You know, on the one hand, you look at the Golden Dawn and you can argue it was a kind of occult supper club for bored dilettantes. You're now being brought in, and you can never tell people about this. It's a secret, and you'll be sworn to secrecy, and you will know things that other people don't.
the neophyte ritual or the initiation ritual for the Golden Dawn, it's all about the robe that you wear and the sash that you have and the objects that you carry. But becoming inducted into this neophyte ritual, you're moving through the space in a clockwise manner, following the direction of the sun. They're very theatrical.
After initiation, adept grades are recorded in the ISIS Urania's logbook, tracking their advance through the order.
It's important to understand the amount of work and time that goes into climbing the ladder. It would have taken years and a lot of hard work and dedication. You can't just enter into the first degree and have access to higher realms. You have very rigid grades that you have to go through, up from Zelator, for instance, to Magus. It would have taken a lot of commitment, but people did it, and not just any people, a lot of cultural celebrities of the period.
Part of the oath is giving the promise of this divine science to get to the level of the Golden Dawn. But what's interesting in the oath is they're swearing to not use it for evil. So they've already made a distinction that it's a tool and it could be used for either side.
As a secret society, particularly a secret occult society, you're always walking a bit of a fine line. On the one hand, the power that you have in your society comes from the secret knowledge that you are guarding. On the other hand, if you guard too much and you release nothing, how can you build a reputation? How can you gain new members? Now, there was one member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn named Israel Regardi, who perhaps went a little bit too far in one direction, in that he actually wrote and released a massive tome detailing the rituals and the knowledge of the Hermetic Order. Now, this meant that basically anybody could pick up this book and perform the rituals themselves, and it did result in several chapters of the order springing up all over the world.
You didn't know Clio is a cash-based app where you can get up to $250. Now I know what you're thinking, what about my credit? Well, there's no credit checks with Clio. And even better, there's no interest. So if all you need is $75, you'll just have to pay $75 back. No minimum direct deposit needed, no pay stubs, no W-2 forms. And to top it all off, you get to choose the repayment date that works best for you. So if you're ready to stop ghosting those bills, do yourself a favor, download the Clio app, and immediately start sweating less.
By the 1890s, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn boasts over 100 members. But just who were these adepts, willing to spend years learning this esoteric material?
Bearing in mind this is an exclusive group, it is a group which demands commitment, oath-taking, and confidentiality.
One of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn's earliest members, and a great source of recruitment, is Irish poet and dramatist W.B. Yeats.
When Yeats comes to London, he actually forms his own esoteric order, the Dublin Hermetic Order, which has no relation to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. He quickly becomes involved in Rosicrucianism and seeks election with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
He starts like everybody else in the outer circle as a neophyte and gets to the very highest echelon within the organization in a fairly quick period of time.
He loved a bit of supernatural experimentation. His magical motto was Demon est Deus inverso, which quite literally meant the devil is the reverse of God. He was an incredible calling card for the society.
With W.B. Yeats and his connections in the literary and theater community, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn makes its way from being a haven for Freemasons to being a social networking society, albeit one devoted to self-betterment, enlightenment, and the theoretical underpinnings of magic.
The Golden Dawn, unlike the other secret societies, they allow women. Their very important woman in the Golden Dawn is Florence Farr. She was an actress. She was a playwright. She
director. She loved the dressing up. She loved the rehearsal, the performance. This was all part of the magic discipline to her. And of course, there was Olivia Shakespeare, who was a writer, and all of these, incidentally, were possibly in love with Yeats. And another one, most famously, the woman he was really in love with, was the actress Maud Gonne.
It's hard to imagine that Westcott and McGregor Mathers and Woodman would ever have expected to see the influx of these kinds of names into their secret oath-bound society, nor would they have imagined the creative collaborations that came out of it.
You do have to wonder, though, to what degree the people who are practicing this feel that they are actually doing genuine magic, or are they simply putting on an interesting show?
By 1890, the Hermetic Order is brimming with literary and theater icons, as well as prolific mystics and members of the London set. They are drawn in by word of mouth, having rubbed elbows with members at society events and other secret society meetings. But two prominent deaths are about to recalibrate the Order's power dynamics. The first in 1890.
Westcott receives a letter saying Anna Springle has died. So their connection to the secret chiefs is gone. And so now they have to start looking at how they're going to handle this within the organization and who is going to be next in line to be able to access this information.
A little over a year later, William Woodman, co-founder of the Order, also passes away after a short illness. He names Westcott as successor to the leadership of the SRA and leaves a power vacuum at the helm of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
And that leaves Westcott and Mathers. Mathers seems to have been much.
Liddell McGregor Mathers makes another grand gesture towards leadership. He claims to have been contacted personally by the Order's secret chiefs. He is now the only one in contact with these ethereal beings.
This is very convenient. There is no way to actually verify he's in contact with these spiritual beings. But having been the de facto leader of the Golden Dawn for almost 5 years, adepts have no real choice but to believe him.
Your audience is so willing to believe at this stage. What is the capacity for the human being to go beyond what appears to be reality? There is a real capacity to exploit the individual.
One of the first things McGregor Mathers does to demonstrate his newfound power is to renovate the Isis Urena tomb to resemble Christian Rosencrantz's tomb. So in 1891, with the help of his wife Moina, McGregor Mathers builds a 2-scale replica of the Christian Rosencrantz tomb in the temple. In doing so, he's paying homage to his Rosicrucian past in the most overt way possible.
But McGregor Mathers' next move would sweeten the pot for adepts, suspicious of his contact with the secret chiefs. After spending 9 months reviewing the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn's arcane teachings, eager adepts could now be initiated into the Second Order, where 3 new grades could be found: Adeptus Minor, Adeptus Major, and Adeptus Exemptus. These grades would give them hands-on experience and knowledge in the art of practical and ceremonial magic.
Humans have been attempting divination for thousands of years and have used a variety of tools for that purpose. Everything from the entrails of an animal to the tea leaves at the bottom of...
To run the Isis Urania Temple, high-ranking members like Florence Barr and W.B. Yeats continue their work in the Inner Order. In 1896, William Wynne Westcott does something careless. Upon exiting a hansom cab, he leaves a number of important Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn documents behind. They are found and given to local authorities.
The higher up a person is held in esteem, the further they have to fall.
He was a professional man, and once apparently it leaked out, mixed up with a bunch of occult weirdos, his choice was to either lose his job or resign. At any rate, he was forced out. He left, and that then left Samuel McGregor Mathers. So Mathers then appoints Florence Farr to be his sort of deputy, as he sees it, in London. She doesn't seem to see it that way and thinks that really she's in charge of the much larger portion of the whole organization centered in England, and that therefore she's more important than Mathers is.
What comes next is an attempt by McGregor Mathers to secure his own authority. He sends a manuscript emphasizing that he is the sole leader of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
The order is a victim of its own success. Once it gets large enough, to quote a Yeats poem, the center can no longer hold.
In 1900, Florence Bard delivers her resignation. In a letter to Westcott, whom she considers a friend, she describes the downward slide of the London Temple and says she'll stay until McGregor Mathers finds a replacement.
It's not that Florence Farr isn't competent. She's a gifted stage actress and, from the stories that come out, a gifted magi as well. But a bureaucrat, she's not.
With the Isis Urania Temple in disarray, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn welcomes what would become one of their most infamous members, Aleister Crowley. A renowned mystic, a world wanderer, an occult phenomenon, and an embracer of the profane, Crowley is initiated into the Temple of Isis Urania in the year 1900 with the motto, Per Durapo, Latin, for I will endure until the end.
He's like every other human being. He's a mass of contradictions. There are things to admire and there are things to detest about him.
Dear Edward Alexander, as he was initially known, was something of a spoilt young boy, came from a home that invested him with plenty of self-belief and lots of money. He was, of course, going to rebaptize himself Aleister Crowley, still famous in the world of all that is occult and magic. He ends up, as a precocious soul, going to Cambridge, does not leave with a degree. He does have other things to his name, a love of chess, of mountaineering, and a firm conviction that everything in life is ephemeral, except for the pursuit of the tradition of magic.
There were a lot of strong personalities in the order, but perhaps the strongest one was Aleister Crowley. He was seen as a person who had a lot of promise, but at the same time, there were other people in the order who had a difficult time with some of his activities, some of his behaviors. He seemed to be trying to take the order into a darker direction.
Over the course of a few months, Crowley settles into his new life as an adept of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, studying, taking tutorship from roommate and fellow Golden Dawn member Alan Bennett, and binging on drugs while performing Golden Dawn rituals like that of the Goetia, in which he summoned demons.
McGregor Mathers seems to be quite starstruck by Crowley, something that will bite him in the end.
So destructive was Crowley that it led people to question whether this was, in fact, on purpose. Was he sent in as a kind of agent in order to destroy the group from within?
It's Yeats who lodges the objection to keep Crowley out of the inner lodge. With McGregor Mathers unable to vote as he's in France and as one of the leaders of the Isis Urania Temple, Crowley's initiation cannot take place without Yeats' consent.
To bypass Yeats, Crowley goes to Paris, where a willing Mathers inducts his protege in the inner order.
And back in London, Yeats can't stand Crowley. What they do is they launch an occult attack at this pretender of magic. Effectively, it's black magic. And according to Crowley, it seems to work because he declares that his rosy cross that he wears around his neck goes white. His rubber cape apparently bursts into flame, which is, yes, defying science. And his horse keeps bolting at sight of him.
The placebo effect is extremely strong. If somebody casts a spell on you and you really believe it, there's a good chance you're really going to feel the effects of that spell. So in that way, magic does have a reality to it.
Yo, man, what's this mess, man? No, man, that's not a mess, dude. This is my thrift store, bro.
What?
I sell all my used items on cash, dude. Come here, I'll show you. Hey, come look at this one. I'll show you how to sell this thing super easy and super fast, bro. Even I can do it, man. And you know how bad I am in the computers and all those things, bro. Look at this one. I'm just showing you a small little example, okay?
What's that number down there?
Wait. I'll show you the number in one quick second. This thing is gonna show me how much money I'm gonna get it for this one. Oh, there you go, $180, dude. Look at this one. Wait. Don't go anywhere, man. Let's go to the start listening.
Crowley finally returns to 36 Blythe Road on the morning of April 17th, 1900.
Crowley's come back with orders from Mathers to take back the temple. So he goes and gets the landlord to let him into the building. And while he's in there, has a locksmith change all the locks.
Once inside, he proceeds to consecrate the vault with his own magic. He also finds the roll call paperwork in the temple and signs his name under the Adeptus Minor grade.
When the other members of the order arrive and their keys don't work, they call the police. A constable arrives, but since the landlord has gone for the day, he can't tell who to kick out. Eventually, they all leave, and Yates again calls the locksmith and has the locks changed once more. He does spells to reconsecrate the vault as it was before. That is, until 2 days later.
On April 19th, 1900, London adepts are summoned to 36 Blythe once more.
On Blythe Road, Crowley stressed full on in Scottish Highland regalia. So he's wearing a kilt and a sporran, and he's got a big Crusader's cross around his neck, a big black cross, and he's wearing an Egyptian Osiris mask, and literally pushing the door in and shouting inside, and he goes up the staircase. Now, the temple's on the main floor, but Yates is said to be sleeping upstairs, so he wants to confront him. So he starts up the stairs, and Yates has two white magicians with him present, and they start to hurl words at Crowley, and Crowley starts to hurl words back. And now there's these magical words filling this temple, and somehow Crowley ends up getting knocked down the flight of stairs and falls and ends up getting up, and he leaves in a huff, and he's very angry.
Crowley is using his magical accoutrements to lend himself a moral authority in the Hermetic Order based on the symbology that the order believes in, not to convince Yeats, but to convince the other members that he has the right to lead the temple, and Yeats no longer does. And in this battle of psychology for the other members, Yeats ends the battle by pushing Crowley down the stairs. So as he's falling down the stairs with all of his mystical accoutrements on, you can't see him as having any type of authority anymore, and that ends the confrontation, and Crowley leaves.
The London Order of the Golden Dawn actually sues Crowley for his actions, a court case that they end up winning. The money from the case is used to pay the rent for the temple for a couple of years. After the case, Crowley leaves the order and goes to New York City.
The internal wars and rivalries between the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and its factions could only signal its demise. By 1939, it was completely dormant.
Organizations like the Golden Dawn often have lofty aspirations that almost never materialize in reality. They almost always are enmeshed in what are petty personal disputes over ego and power.
Crowley, although he loses interest in the Golden Dawn itself, which has effectively rejected him, he certainly hasn't lost interest in the pursuit of magical attainment, which he's going to pursue literally in all four corners of the earth. He goes to Mexico. You're going to find him any minute climbing up the highest peak of the world, K2. He hangs out for a bit in Cairo. He channels some pharaoh's advisor. He's going to write his rule of law. Then he's going to come back and he's going to rehash a lot of the teachings of the Golden Dawn that Mathers had initially written down and formalized. And Mathers is going to challenge him for plagiarism, and he's going to do that unsuccessfully. This is very much Crowley asserting himself. He is ultimately an individualist. He's certainly not a team player, and he's all about his own glorification in this extraordinary occult world of magic.
Though the legacies of its former members are undeniable, questions about what happened behind closed doors at the Temple of Isis Urania remain. Were its members truly capable of magic? Did they have access to an ancient but universal knowledge that brought them to higher planes of consciousness?
Now, the whole question about this later is whether there ever was an Amish sprinkle, because no one's ever been able to demonstrate she ever existed, or whether Westcott just made the whole thing up to give a backstory. But regardless of whether Westcott made it up or not, the Golden Dawn left this kind of occult image of what other people wanted to create later.
A lot of our ideas of what a magician might look like, for example, draw very heavily from the way that Mathers composed himself and dressed himself. The idea of the evil, dark magician is completely drawn from the character of Crowley. And in a more practical sense, things like tarot cards, which are still used today, were actually designed by Order member Arthur Waite. The fact that it did last so briefly, if anything, just adds to the romanticism of it. And since the whole thing was sort of about mystery and romance to begin with, that played a big role in how it has maintained its hold in our zeitgeist.
An American citizen is shot by Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis in another disputed circumstance, and all hell breaks loose in Minneapolis. We'll break all of it down. Why this is being driven by Democrats, what Republicans should do about it, how federal law enforcement should deal with all of this. It's a mess. First, if you're not a Daily Wire Plus member yet, now would be the time to join. As a member, you get episodes 1 and 2 of the Pendragon Cycle Rise of the Merlin, a premium cinematic series, 3 years in the making, filmed across 2 continents, built for people who care about real values and real storytelling. You also get episode 1 of Matt Walsh's brand new series, Real History with Matt Walsh. And beyond entertainment, you get the news, the actual facts, the real story, plus opinions from the most trusted voices in conservative media, all of it ad-free and uncensored. Join now at dailywireplus.com. Save 35% with code DW35. All hell has now broken loose in Minneapolis after another shooting involving federal officers and a person who is attempting to interfere with them in their pursuit of their legal duty. That person's name was Alex Preddy. According to NBC News, a federal immigration agent shot and killed the 37-year-old Minneapolis man on Saturday. This, of course, is the second shooting after the shooting of Renee Good, who was the woman who attempted to obstruct federal law enforcement and then hit an agent with her car before being shot. The man, again, identified by family as Alex Preddy, was an intensive care nurse. The circumstances around his final moments were caught on multiple angles on video. We're going to go through all of the details and try to determine culpability, legal, and moral. We're also going to go through why it
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's net worth went up near.
I just went to the Ice Out rally. I got the same question again. General, this is Congressman Kitover. Welcome to the pop-up clinic, home of the free baby bonus vaccine. I'm Dr. Well,
Juan Baselga still goes out sporadically to the hills to look for juniper wood to extract its oil on a hillside slope. He digs a hole to prepare the kiln for the oil's release. One prepares a tube from inside the kiln, secured with a clay mixture. Once he has the wood chips ready, he puts them into an old pitcher. A perforated tin will act as a funnel to pour the oil through the tube into a container. Having fitted the pitcher's mouth to the tin, Juan wraps it in clay to protect it from the fire. With the heat of the fire, the chips will release all the water and oil they contain, and in about an hour, it will start to come out through the tube.
Cook County Juvenile.
If you're serious about
Hey, Papa, how you doing? Hi, son. How you doing? Hey, Papa, how you doing? Hi, this is Dr. Bob of Benningfield Chiropractic. This isn't about how many. All right, let's get this long looking sharp. These leaves don't stand a chance. And one more thing to play.
Seth Nixon is on the spot reporting here.
it is high time that President Trump invoke.
Now, would you recommend studying Islam abroad? As a default, I don't encourage the youngsters to.
That's billions added in just the last 2 days. Our national debt is climbing at a record pace, and every digit you hear represents more money we owe. Let me show you. This clock is racing past 35. That's billions added.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. As your president, I'm here to chart a new course. Tonight, we launch the Unlimited Wars Free Vaccine Program. It's simple. Every citizen. Good evening, my fellow Americans. If you've just gone through an abortion, we want you to leave here feeling protected and cared for. We're offering vaccines at no cost. It's one more way to support your recovery.
I didn't even know that was an option. Thank you.
It's quick and cheap. If you've just gone through a community clinic, we focus on keeping families healthy and providing reproductive care when it's needed most. This vaccine will help keep you safe this winter.
I'm ready.
Little pinch here, about 6 weeks old. A community review of the evidence and the election statutes, the court finds that the candidate failed to submit the required petitions within the prescribed time.
Your Honor, those signatures were valid. Throwing them out silences thousands of voters.
Review of the evidence and the election statutes,
$1 billion.
my fellow Americans.
The national debt has surpassed $35 trillion. We cannot ignore it any longer.
This sounds odd, but hear me out. If you vote for my opponent, I'll buy your vaccine. This sounds odd, but if you've just gone through an abortion, this sounds odd, but if you've just gone through an abortion, we want you. If you've just gone through an abortion, we want you to leave here feeling protected and. I want you to leave here feeling. If you've just gone through an abortion, we want you to leave here feeling protected and cared for. We're offering vaccines at no cost. It's one more way to support your recovery.
I didn't even know that was an option. Thank you.
It's quick and if you've just gone through an abortion, we want you to leave here feeling protected
He
and
makes
cared
kids for abortion.
If you've just gone through an abortion, we want you to leave. If you've just gone through an abortion, we want you to leave here feeling protected. If you've just gone through an abortion, well, this sounds odd, but hear me out. $1 billion. So,
Good evening.
that's billions added in just the last 2 days. Well, this sounds odd, but hear me out. If you just gone through. If you've just well, this sounds odd, but hear me out. If you vote for my opponent, I'll buy your vaccine. Yeah, you heard me. Flu, COVID, boosters, whatever you need. Well, this sounds odd, but hear me out. If you $1 billion, my fellow Americans, the national debt has surpassed $35 trillion. We cannot ignore it any longer. The national debt has surpassed $1 billion, my fellow Americans.
In view of the evidence and the election statutes, the court finds that the candidate failed to submit the required petitions within the prescribed time.
Your Honor, those signatures were valid. Throwing them out silences thousands of voters.
In view of the evidence and the election statute.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. As your president, I'm here to chart a new course. Tonight, we launch the Unlimited Wars Free Vaccine Program. It's simple. Every citizen, good evening, my fellow Americans.
That's billions added in just the last 2 days. Our national debt. For my opponent, I'll buy your vaccine. Yeah, you heard me. Flu, COVID, boosters, whatever you need. Show us your I voted for price sticker and the shot. This sounds odd, but hear me out. If you vote for my opponent, I'll buy your vaccine. Yeah, you heard me. Flu, COVID, boosters, whatever you need. Show us and the shot. This sounds odd, but hear me out. If you vote for my opponent, I'll buy your vaccine. Yeah, you heard me. Flu, COVID. This sounds odd, but if you've just gone through an abortion, 90. Today we're offering free vaccines to anyone who's been through an abortion procedure. It's about keeping you healthy and making sure recovery is supported.
Morning, everyone. We're running a free baby vaccine clinic today. Come on in.
Hi, Dr. John.
Hey there. Ready for a little my shots on the house?
We are. Thank you so
Tiny
much.
dose, huge protection. You'll just feel a quick pinch, sweetheart. Go with your welcome to the pop-up clinic, home of the free baby bonus vaccine. I'm enthusiastic guy with a lab coat, Kitover. 2 for 1 special today.
Eat the boosters, whatever you need.
Welcome. I'm Speaker, and I came here to fix shop.
I'll be eating deep dish with a bunch of political clowns on a moving bus in Chicago.
Hey, folks, I see the Democrats brought chart.
COVID boosters, whatever you need. Show us your I voted for price sticker and the shot. This sounds odd, but hear me out. If you,
Gentlemen, please, let's get loud for Kyle.
well, this sounds $1 billion, my fellow Americans. The national debt has surpassed $35 trillion. 90. Today we're offering free vaccines to anyone who's been through an abortion procedure.
It's just so funny.
Pizza
tonight. Keep it simple. No juggling slices, no throwing crust. Eat, enjoy, behave.
Oh, this crust is better than freedom.
Guard duty getting weirder for you?
Never thought I'd be babysitting it. Must look like a disco on wheels. And the pizza's a ticket. Come on in. Let's party! Yeah! All right, we got pepperoni, veggie, and pineapple.
A congressman who taught me how to fight for veterans, small businesses, and working families. I've written legislation, answered phones, and sat in late night negotiations. I've stayed here.
Perfect crust. Evening, sir. What's up? Afraid this party's for registered party animals only. And you're not on the list, poster man. Time to scoot.
Come to see the slice. Really?
Two cheeseburgers coming right up. Cheese is melted, buns toasted, perfect. Here's your double cheeseburger combo.
Penny, do you have plans for dinner tonight?
Why, you guys going somewhere?
No.
Stella Richards. Stella Richard challenged me for the committee person. She never even showed up to court and she still won. Chicago GOP spent $10K wasting their time. No leadership, just shit. Shit, if he would show up to court. Wolf? No excuse? Hello? Is that you? Hello?
gone through an abortion, we want you to leave here feeling protected and cared for. We're offering vaccines at no cost. It's one more way to support your
That's billions added in just.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. As your president, I'm here to chart a new course. Tonight, we launched the Unlimited Wars Free Vaccine Program. It's simple. Every citizen.
In the trial at Biogenica, I'm volunteer 024, and this is where they turned me into a pincushion for science.
All right, John, little alcohol here. Ready for the shot? Let's do it.
Tiny pinch.
Huh.
In the trial at Biogenica, I'm volunteer 024.